In this video, we're going to explore how you can use function parameters in JavaScript. And function parameters are very useful if you want to shorten the amount of code you have. And if you have a function where it's very similar to other functions, that when you press on a button, you only want to show, for example, a different value, while you want to maintain the functionality or the formula of the function consistent. So basically, if you want to press a button like 1, it shows number 1 times x. And then if you press number 2, it should show the formula multiplied by 2, for example. Alright, let's start and explore this. So the first thing we're going to do is, we have here our HTML file, and this is our JavaScript file or HTML template here on Google Chrome. And what we're going to do is, when we click on this, we should show an alert box with the value in there, depending on what we put in here. So let's start and look at that. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to create a function, and this function is going to be our converter, for example, for currency. So we say function currency converter. Now let's put in this converter. And then here we're going to work on it. So basically here we put in the function. However, here we're going to put in our parameter. So this is called a parameter in here. And here we can put in, for example, a number. And the number will be depending on what we want to have. But let's say we have here an alert. We're going to create an alert box. And in this alert box, we're going to put in the value. So if we have a number 1, and we want to convert that to a euro currency from dollars to euro. Now I'm not aware what's the conversion rate currently, but let's say it is $1.20 multiplied by num. So basically, once we click on the button, we can do it, or what could be even here is we can just put in here the conversion. Yeah, so the number we're going to put in here, let's say number 10. Then multiplied by num, and num will be the currency type. So that would be very nice to see. So if, for example, here we have a button, and this button, we're going to put in here a onClick function. So let's say onClick here. And in here, we're going to say currency converter. And what will be here? If this would be euro, so let's say here this is euro. So we say here euro. Euro or USD to euro, and then we say here this will be 120. So 1 USD would be equal to euro. Well, that's not even correct, because that should be something with 0.8 if I'm not mistaken. So we say here 0.80, and then we have here the button here conversion. So let's save this, and you will see now what happens. If we refresh this now, you can see here this, but when we click on this, we get here the conversion, which is 8. Let's double check if that's correct. That is correct, because we have here, for example, $10. So $10 converted by the number, and the number is in this case this one here. So if you would have another button, let's say you have not euros, but you have another one with let's see, a UK pound. Yeah, so pound sterling. So this to pound sterling. And that should be the correct one. So this is UK pound sterling. Alright, and that will be probably something like 0.60. And let's save this now, and we maintain here the same onClick function with the same function here, basically the same function name that triggers it. So basically here once we click it, then we have this, and then now this one will be 0.6. So the num, the parameter num, is equal to this. We'll be using this. So let's save this, refresh here, convert, refresh. Now you can see, oh, I would like to have a space between, so I'm going to put in here a horizontal line. Yes, save this. Alright, there you are. So if I click here, now you can see 8. If I click here, you see 6. And this is basically how it works. So with this, you can create multiple parameters with multiple items, for example, conversion rate to any other item. So let's say this to the let's say Philippine peso, PHP. Then we have here, instead of that, it will be 50. $1 equals 50 pesos at this current moment. So we put in here .00. All right. Save this, refresh, and now if you click times, so $10 equals this. And with this, you can start to play around more and more. And these function parameters are very helpful because you can do more things. So for example, here, if you would have another one, let's say we have here num, or we can do here currency. So the first one will be currency, which is this. And then we say num. And the num would be any other number. So we could say here multiply by currency. Alright. And what we do here is to activate the num. So we say here the first one would be currency. And then we say here num, this is 100. For example, the minimum amount we need to buy. Minimum min amount to buy 100 pieces. Am I writing it correctly? Yes, that's correct. So same here. We could do as well this, and here minimum we need to buy is 50 items. So 50 minimum is 50 USD or something like that. Same here. Minimum is 50. Alright, so once we save this, refresh, now you see here, if you click on this, now our value is 400. So what happens? So it gets the 0.8, then multiply by 10, and then multiply by 50. And what happens? This times 10 is 8, and 8 times 50 equals 400. And this is basically what you can do here. So this helps you to create calculations or something like that, or any kind of function where you want to activate it without having too many times the same formula being copied here, because that's what I did before, and that is not the way to do it. This is the best way to do it with a parameter. So if you like these kind of videos, and you'd like to learn more about JavaScript, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions regarding to this, put them in the comment section below. And if you want to learn about Chart.JS, check out my Udemy course in the description box.